In the last episode, the city of Eurustville was still expanding, and I had to sort out some recording issues. So let's remember what we did so we can reuse that knowledge next time, and let's play some more Banished. I didn't do that last episode, right? Okay. In other news, sort of unrelated news, I'm currently at 74 subscribers. There will not be a 75 subscriber special. But I'm happy to say that because I still want to reach about 100 by the end of the year. So right now we are well on the way there, and I'm really happy to say that. I just said that. Anyway, shows you how happy I am to say that. So, the plan for this episode is to make sure our food levels are still stable. We'll have to check if the barn building had a lot of effect on the overall productivity here. I do think it had, but it's pretty early to say that. I also think people will bring food just directly to the barn if that direct path is significantly shorter than all the way around. I think there's this kind of balance between those things, so let's say you have a certain amount of energy units for walking across a field and walking across the perimeter, and taking the road is just using less energy, but you have a longer way, and I think they just balance it out. So or maybe just say speed, yeah? You walk a bit slower across the field, you walk pretty fast along the road, and I think the game works out on its own which way is the best for you or for the situation. So for example, from here to here would probably be smarter to just take the direct route than to go all this way, and I hope that the citizens see that as well. We might expand into that direction, and I just realized we'd be hitting the edge of the map there, so this would actually also be a prime location for another forestry bit. Just smack some houses down here, maybe a storage barn, so people could put all the forestry goods in here, and then we'd actually be very well off on that side. There'd not be much more we could get from there. We should also try to get in here somehow. We'd have to build a tunnel, maybe through this, and we'll just harvest this out. Maybe build another tunnel and have some houses over here, but that would be all. Could also place some fishing sheds over there. I like how the village is kind of organically growing. Let's set up the speed here. So yeah, I think the village looks actually pretty okay. I mean, this is probably not among this high efficiency places you can see in some other playthroughs, but it works for me. And I like this kind of gradual expansion. You build that, and I suppose that's how real towns would also develop. Like, you'd have some central location where people would just forage and have some sort of community stuff going on, and they just expand from there. They'd build more fields around it, and then the fields would probably move. So in an actual town, I suppose this would have been not necessarily paved, but it would have been replaced by houses and just moved further out to the towards the edge of the village. So you'd have the houses and housing and stuff all inside, and you'd actually probably also try to build a wall around it, which is something we don't have here because we don't need it. But yeah, this would likely be this would likely be a sort of secluded bit. Maybe, yeah, just a fisherman and some farmers and foresters here. Probably a prime location for some sort of summer camp in 500 years. However, we'll just keep going here. We seem to have, yeah, we really have it as an egg, and that was why I tried to expand the village before I really made sure I had so much food. We are dropping sharply here. That is because the harvest hasn't set in yet, and because we've where's the food production? Here. Yeah, that is because we are now currently stocking homes up. Like those houses are finished, so they all immediately went and grabbed a lot of food. Maybe not that much food, but they should have gone and grabbed a lot of food. And yeah, the harvest is still to be determined and to be brought in. And we're low on stones, so that will of course delay all our future building projects. Let's also see if we could stack up on firewood here. I'd like to have about 300 units in here. I'd actually like to have 300 in here too. Firewood goes for a decent price, and it is an infinite resource. Okay, 300 in here and 300 of it in here. And since we don't need any seeds anymore, it's probably going to be our #1 trade resource from now on. Because we are so low on that, so I'm going to reduce that to, say, 200. And if we have a really impressive amount of warm coats, we will also use those for trading, but oh wow, we're actually harvesting early. Is that still growing? I think it is. Yeah, that is still growing, but we should get this done before the autumn as well. This is growing kind of slow. Those aren't producing yet because, well, they were just planted like right before I recorded the last episode, so they didn't have time to really grow yet and to produce fruit. Can reduce that. 36, 42, 48 people. We need 48 farmers for all of this. So this is a great way to just generate workers, or generate work for your citizens. Have them become farmers. It's not as easy nowadays, I hear. Okay, there's still plenty of food on the fields, so... but you can see the food stores have reached 10,000 again, which is a good number. You definitely want a lot, especially... like you need enough to... until you get to the trading, to the harvesting season. You don't really have anything I want. I would be tempted to buy stones if she had them, but I won't order them because I don't want to pay the markup. And we don't urgently need stones. That's the main reason I'm not buying them. We have a quarry somewhere over here. It still has 74% of the resources remaining. This mine is currently not working because it doesn't have any workers. I could reduce the amount of workers in this to make sure some of them go here and mine coal. But we're still doing okay with coal. Okay, we also don't need another chapel. We won't need another chapel for a long time now. I'll probably actually reduce this a bit and try to spread the people a bit somewhat evenly around it. Also shouldn't forget to do the crop rotation in winter. I don't want to risk losing any crops if I do it before that, so... ooh, another merchant. We have those a lot. Nope. We do not need any seeds anymore. So all those seed merchants are essentially useless to us now. Because we have all the seeds, and I think they even remain if your town hall burns down. The town hall doesn't actually hold the seeds, it just records them. I don't know how it does that, but it just records that those seeds have been used and are in store. And from there on, they are your city's general property. I guess every citizen has a few of those seeds in his pockets or in his houses or whatever. So yeah, those seeds are, as far as I know, permanently ours. Okay, let's see. The harvest season is almost done. I can just check next year anyway. But right now, how's the production looking? We have produced a fair amount of surplus. Then again, it's still not winter, so the year is still not over. Which means there is still a potential to lose a lot of stuff. We also haven't harvested those out as much as I'd like them to. So we keep losing things from here, from those orchards, but that's okay, I guess. It's a risk we have to take. And something I have to live with, even though I personally hate it. Okay, potatoes, come on, harvest. Lazy creeps. What's surprising that... Okay, the apples are pretty much new. But, okay, chestnuts are also new. And pears, oh, I'm surprised that no pears have landed in here. Like, this would appear to be the closest storage building, but they seem to have hauled it somewhere else. Or pears just very famous with the, or very popular with the citizens, and they just try to grab that whenever they can. Okay, those just need more stones. Okay, it's time to do the crop rotation. I prefer to pause the game for that, because it lets me do it in time, and I won't mess it up. And since I'm playing the game in 10 times speed anyway, it's probably fine with you too. Ah, death during childbirth. I was wondering why this showed up, but this only happens if somebody dies to something other than old age. Corn and beans, pumpkins, and potatoes. Why do I have 2 wheat fields? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why do I have 2 potato patches and no 2 wheat fields? I have wheat, pepper, cabbage, squash, and corn. Beans and pumpkins. And potatoes. And wheat. And no other wheat field, right? Right. I guess it works. I was just messing it up there. Anyway, time to do this. I think it's about time to put those fields to work, so yeah, let's unpause the game for that. We don't need the game to be paused anymore. So this will be corn, beans, pumpkins, potatoes, wheat, pepper, cabbage, and squash. Look at that, we now need 128 people just to keep those farms alive. Okay, we'll keep 4 citizens around as laborers just to replace people who, well, die. We'll not have any builders right now, although actually we could have 2 builders for now. We'll have 2 builders for now because we do need them right now. Do I need that much iron? Don't think I do. I'll actually remove those 5 and make them... Actually no, I'll keep those around. I'll just remove 5 stone cutters and have them become miners. And hope that some of it actually go to the coal mine, because I actually want coal more than I want iron now. We might as well close that one mine down and open the other one. No, we are harvesting well, we're mining coal again, so that's good. Okay, if we have a healthy surplus of food next year, so if those fields are doing what I want them to, and if they're performing well, I will try and keep them... I will try and build a tavern, and then we'll look into ending the display. Because as much as I enjoy the game, there is really not much I can add anymore. You've seen the village grow, you've seen it kind of starve, and you've seen it do all the things that villagers do. They got immigrants, they got children, they died quite a lot. They had fun, they're having a lot of fun right now, happiness is full. So yeah, we really don't need a tavern for anything. Which is still one of the reasons why I'd never really bother building one. You can trade alcohol quite great, but it's not absolutely necessary. I can trade just fine without it, even though, yeah, alcohol is really a great resource to trade away. Just pick up something from the floor here. Okay. And yeah, I think it's worth a lot. We'll see it in the. I'll take a barrel or so to the docks, and we'll see how much it sells for. I think it's 6 to 8, so it's a very good resource. Even 12, I don't know. It's a great resource to trade away. Your citizens will use a lot of it, which, yeah, is not something I greatly enjoy. But I like how you don't need it. Okay. We have more children now, so at least that part of the plan worked out. Don't need those builders anymore. So we'll put you to work here. So we're at 4 laborers now. And of course the overall food production should increase even further if we once we have all those farm places used up. So once we actually have 128 farmers, we should be pretty good. Oh, wow, you could only move out with 50 years. That is, I don't know, nowadays would probably be considered kind of weird, and I think it would have been back then too. Like somebody moving out with 50 and then living with his parents until then. But this is not to judge anyone about that, so if you think I'm going to judge you about that, if you're still 50, if you're 50 and you're still living with your parents, that's totally fine. I'm saying it could be frowned upon in certain circles of the population. Shut up, cell phone. Yeah. And with that, I'm going to end the episode. We got a bit done today, not too much. I think we're well on the way to becoming a successful, or an even more successful village. We have all the fields. We actually have 2 of every field now, so we're a bit like Noah's Ark for plants. And less for ferrying the seas. And we've got some houses going. We have a merchant. Let's see what he has. You have stones. And you seem to... Are we placing orders? No. Okay, stone is quite expensive, but I'm willing to actually pay for it right now. I'm going to give away those 300 firewood. And I actually want... Let's buy 30 coal. And about 100 stones. And let's get 60 coal. Let's get 75 coal. Let's get 84 coal. Oh, we need 4 more units to complete that. Well, screw it. We'll just get 83 and we'll give them 2 units. We can afford those 2 units. Go away. I could have also traded more, but I didn't want to. I just didn't want to. And with that, we're out here. So, until next time. Bye!